Andy, Paul, where are you about to take us?
So you've all heard of the Roswell crash,
Sure, who hasn't?
but have you heard of the Kecksburg crash?
Yes, I have.
Kecksburg, Pennsylvania,
Yes.
had a relatively well-known amongst our community crash in 1965 that has really kind of become an unanswered cold case.
Well, I'll confess, look, I've been hoping that we might engage this story.
You have?
You know, I know a little bit about it, as does Travis, and so this is really exciting.
So the story is that there is some kind of craft or space debris or something that came down there acorn-shaped. But what it is, or what it was, or what happened remains really kind of shrouded in mystery. There were a lot of witnesses at the time. It got a lot of coverage, and then just sort of faded from view under, it seems like, sort of a cloak of secrecy and some kind of cover-up.
We have an opportunity now to go in Kecksburg and see if we can't bring some of the most modern technology that we have available to us to try to answer the unanswered questions about what happened in this location.
This sounds pretty ambitious.
We don't know what this thing is, how it worked, or whatever, right?
Right.
Was it really a UFO? Was it a downed experimental craft that was being worked on? Who knows what it could have been?
I think we have some ambitious plans for this.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is a topic where, and an area where certainly an ambitious effort is warranted.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what you find.
Absolutely.
So we're excited to get out there.
Pete, I'm happy to have you here, man. We have got a mystery for you for sure.
Andy and Paul have called in Skinwalker veteran Pete Kelsey with his expertise and technology to conduct a thorough scan of the environment surrounding the possible UFO landing in Kecksburg, Pennsylvania.
All I know is some kind of an impact site, right?
Right.
From what we understand through third-hand information, the impact site might actually be in this wash area right behind us.
It sounds like this thing came down in this area, right in here. We're not exactly sure where. That's what we're hoping you can help us figure out.
Well, as you guys know, typically the tools that I bring have to do with physical evidence, right, on the ground. I brought all the usual suspects, LiDAR and the SLAM scanner. If one of you guys want to scan, I can be watching the data coming in on the tablet in real time.
I'm happy to stomp around, sure.
Handheld LiDAR, also known as a SLAM scanner, uses laser light to map out an area. It measures the time it takes for the laser to bounce back after hitting an object and uses that collected data to create a detailed 3D model of the environment.
I just want to make sure we see data, and then you're off.
Good to go. Here we go.
LiDAR technology also has the ability to strip away layers of vegetation to visualize the topography of a site, which can reveal areas not easily detected by the naked eye.
We know we're looking for something that happened in the past. We have these dense woods, and we need a piece of tech that allows us to scrape away the layers of the current in order to get backwards in time, and the SLAM scanner is exactly the kind of tool to make that happen. Well, I would love to get eyes on the data that you were able to collect, see if that can't point us in the next direction.
I'm going to get busy on that.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Andy and Paul returned to Kecksburg to learn Pete Kelsey's handheld LiDAR results from the possible UFO crash site.
Look at this right here. I cut my teeth in civil engineering and land surveying. That's man-made earthwork because it's level against this otherwise very steep slope. Straight lines, right angles, those kind of things do not occur in nature, right? And then when you rotate the view like I've done here and you see it has a level bottom.
I mean, this is right where we were walking. Is this evidence 60 years later of that impact? We looked at it with our own eyes. There's no level ground down there, so that's a remnant of something that's no longer visible.
Andy, Paul, and Pete decide to go back to replicate their experiments in the exact spot.
This is it right here?
Up there, yeah. You see how it feels like a pad? It's sort of leveled out, and then it sort of ends abruptly right there.
Now they'll check the radio spectrum at the newly discovered area of interest.
Pop the RF scanner. There's a peak at 1.638.
Are they significant peaks? Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. 1.74.
That's not the same spectrum that we saw when we were here the first time.
Right. So yeah, we've moved, what, 20 feet, totally different spectrum.
That's strange.
The one difference from here to there is this is what it was indicated on the LiDAR as you know, something unusual that maybe suggests that this is the actual impact site. But that would not explain how it could have such a different radio signature with nothing in between here and there.
Unless it's hyper-localized, unless it exists here and doesn't exist over there, we could take the spectrum analyzer right over there and find out right now.
Yeah, I mean, how could that be? How could the signal differ across such a short distance?
We can test it. We can take it right over there and see if that same signal is present right now.
Okay, let's just walk it up. Look at that, it actually did completely change.
Wow, Pete, look at this.
It actually did completely change.
It's totally different.
It's dead.
It's a completely different
flat.
signal.
Look at that. We've gone, what, 20 feet?
That's unbelievable.
That's like not within the realm of possible,
No,
right?
no,
That makes
I'm
sense at all.
stunned. This doesn't make any sense. How is there a radio signal in one place that doesn't exist just a few feet away? That's not how radio energy works. That's not how frequencies work. The only reason that we were brought here was because of Pete's LiDAR data. And now that we're here, we're getting even more evidence that suggests that there really was something strange that happened on this spot, in this ravine, in Kecksburg. We might have actually found the real crash site. That might explain why we have so many localized anomalous readings right here that we don't see anywhere else in this valley.
Thanks, Pete, for pointing that out on the LiDAR. We would have never found this otherwise.
Yeah, this is a great find.
Amazing.
Yeah, we got to share this with Travis and Erik.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, welcome back to the ranch. I want to hear about your findings at Chestnut Ridge.
I think it exceeded our expectations, but it left so many more questions and answers. If you recall, we went out there first to kind of dig into what happened in Kecksburg in 1965. The reported landing or crashing of some sort of acorn-shaped object from the sky. So we called in Pete Kelsey, and then when we did get Pete's results, they were really quite telling. It made us ask ourselves the question, in that specific depression, what else could we measure in that site?
Because we're walking, what, you can see, 20 feet?
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that, it actually did completely change.
Wow, Pete, look at this.
It actually did completely change.
It's totally different.
It's dead.
See, that right there is fantastic data.
Look at that. We've gone, what, 20 feet?
That's unbelievable.
So I'd like to stop you here and ask a question. What I just watched was contiguous footage. There was no cut. There was no editorial process there.
That is correct.
Physically walked in my hand 20 feet. That's it.
You dropped 55 dB in 20 feet. I mean, you've got the numbers right here. 55 dB, that's ginormous
Orders of
change.
magnitude.
Many orders of magnitude change. And here's another piece that should be the opposite of this. You guys were down in a hole,
Right.
right?
In a ravine.
And as you walked uphill, the signal should have got stronger as you walked uphill because there's less terrain blocking from wherever it could be coming from, unless it's coming from down there in that hole. What is this signal doing there? That doesn't add up. That is just too much. Here on the ranch, when we get it, we usually see some kind of phenomena occur. We see something, we expect, okay, somehow or other, the source is with whatever this is, or this is causing it, it's a byproduct or something. This looks like it's just coming out of the daggum ground.
Right.
Or it's a beam coming from somewhere else hitting the ground. So that shouldn't be there. Anyway, whatever that is, it shouldn't be there.
Either we've got something active, something energizing that space in the RF today, and for who knows how long, or we've got some kind of residual from the event.
So what you have shown is there is something very odd about that particular point in Kecksburg.
You're talking about getting concrete evidence of something, what did you say, 60 years?
60 years ago.
Did a little beacon fall off of whatever that acorn-shaped thing was?
With a
and it's still
60-year
there?
battery?
With a 60-year battery, yeah, right? I'm thinking right now of all sorts of different things that we need to go back and do. This place to me is absolutely fascinating and bizarre. Good work, guys. I didn't think you were going to come back with this, that's for sure.
Yeah, neither did we.